Good morning. This is Kavi Priya, Assistant Professor, ECE Department, SNS College of Technology. I'm going to discuss about the topic Coulomb's law. So before starting with the presentation, let's recall about the curl, what we have discussed in last topic. Curl is nothing but which measures a rotation or a circulation of a vector. So it is a vector quantity. When we apply a curl on a vector, we'll be getting a vector as an output. It is represented as a del cross A, where A is a vector. So in today's discussion, I'm going to discuss about the introduction to Coulomb's law and what is the statement behind the Coulomb's law and what is a mathematical expression, vector form, and why we are applying the superposition principle in Coulomb's law and what are the limitations of Coulomb's law, and finally about the applications. First, what is a Coulomb's law? As we all know, matter consists of both positive and negative charges. So these charges will be exerting the forces on each other. So positive charges may exert a force on negative charges and negative charges may exert a force on the positive charges. So we need a concept to explain this interaction between the charges that is given by the Coulomb's law. So according to Coulomb's law, the force between two point charges is directly proportional to product of charges and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. So here we will be representing this force as F, and the force is directly proportional to the product of charges, which is nothing but we are considering two charges, which is nothing but Q1 and Q2. So the force is directly proportional to Q1 and Q2 and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. So here the distance between the point charges is taken as r, small r. So it is inversely proportional to r square. So force is proportional to Q1 Q2 by r square. To remove a proportionality, a constant is being used over here where k is a proportionality constant. The value for this k is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, where k epsilon naught is a permittivity of a free space, r is a distance between the charges, and q1 and q2 are the charges. The unit for charges is coulomb and the distance here is nothing but it is a meter. And next is the vector form of Coulomb's law. We'll be representing it as F vector is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by r square r vector. So the direction of force is based by the unit vector r. And we know that already we have learned the concept of like charges repel each other and the unlike charges attract each other. So like there will be a repulsive force between the like charges and attractive force between the unlike charges. And next is a curiosity challenge. First one is a riddle. I act from a distance, no touch required. Like charges repel, opposites are wired. Stronger when closer, weaker when apart. Inverse square law is my secret. What law am I? Which is nothing but it is a Coulomb's law. And next one is an odd man out. Among four, electric force, electric field, Coulomb's law and Ohm's law. Ohm's law is an odd man out. And next is a superposition theorem. Why we are applying superposition theorem in case of finding the force between the charges? If there are more than two charges, then automatically superposition principle is being used. It is being applied to the multiple charges. So the force is a total force is a sum of individual forces. That is the concept behind the superposition principle. So it is based on the electric field calculation. So whenever there are more than two forces acting on it, then the individual force has been calculated by the sum of the forces. And next, what are all the limitations of this Coulomb's law? It is very simply, it is one which simplifies the complex equation and it is applicable for linear system. These are all the pros. As far as cons is considered, it is very limited to the point charges and also it is applicable only for the stationary charges. So these are all the main limitations of this Coulomb's law. And next one, what are all the applications of this Coulomb's law? As we all know, it is meant for calculating electric forces and it is used to determine the electric field. It is being used in the electrostatic precipitators and it is used in the electrostatic spray paintings, and it is one which is being used in photocopiers and laser printers, and electrostatic shielding it is being used, and it is used in molecular and atomic force analysis, and finally it is used in particle motion calculation in electrostatic fields. This is what the summary of what we have discussed so far. We have discussed what is the fundamentals of this Coulomb law, what is the statement, and what is the mathematical expression, vector form of Coulomb's law, superposition principle, what is the need for superposition principle, what are the limitations of Coulomb's law, and finally the applications of Coulomb's law. And these are all my references. And finally the assessment. Coulomb's law states that electrostatic force is directly proportional to the product of forces and product of charges and inversely proportional to square of distance between them. So the option C is correct. It is Coulomb's law is inversely proportional to square of distance. SI unit for electric charge is Coulomb. That's all about the Coulomb's law. We have discussed the basis of Coulomb's law and finally about the applications of Coulomb's law as well. Thank you.